welcome back to the people here. I'm joined by these three nice people this time around, not fools.
There you go.
Thank you.
You can call us fools. This
Fool. Sounds like a gangster.
Gangster.
Fool. What's up, fool? No, that's fool, not fool. Fool. Never mind. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Just go ahead and introduce yourselves.
You say,
my name is Issei.
Jay.
I'm Jackson.
Y'all should know this by now, actually.
Exactly.
If y'all tuning
Hey, we
in,
might have some new people.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
dang, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yes. So Issei, Jay, Jackson, CJ.
Wait. You probably thought this was a section where we're going to beg for clout, but no, we have something new in store. We'll start having anonymous polls on Instagram where you can leave questions that you want us, the people here, to answer. If you don't care about keeping your identity secretive, you can also leave your questions in the YouTube comments, or there'll be public polls on Instagram as well, where you can just leave your questions. We'll pick the best ones to answer on the podcast and give our own opinions and what have yous on it. So, anyways, this is the part where I'm gonna beg for clout now. I want to see an increase in these numbers. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your buddies, please. We're aiming for 100 subscribers before summer begins, so let's make that happen. Anyways, enough of my rambling. Here's the content you guys so deeply desire. Back to the people here.
Anyways, we have a question from last episode that we wanted to continue off of. And Jackson here has the burning question. So
Come on,
maybe
man.
enlighten us.
Yeah, so last episode we were talking about like family structures and gender roles. But my question, it was, does being a good person make you a better wife or husband? Or does being a good wife or husband make you a better person? Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
I hope so.
that makes sense.
It makes sense. It's a good question.
I'm of the view that being a better person makes you a better wife because slash husband.
Discriminate against.
That's only because like you don't need to be in a relationship or married to be a good person.
Okay.
You don't. You could just be a good person all around and just do your own thing.
I was just thinking more of it like being a good person does not guarantee that you're gonna like be a good like spouse. That's what I was trying to get at. But I get what you're saying though, like being a good person. But like just saying being a good person makes you, a better spouse. I don't think that correlates as well. Because you can be a good person to other people, but like in your family, you're still like a horrible husband, father. So that was what I was trying to say. Like, but if you, let's say, if you're married, you're a father, and you focus more on being a good, a good father and good husband, in a deeper sense, that just like you do society a service because your kids are in a home that's loving, and you love your wife or your spouse, whatever, and you love your kids, which means they're gonna grow up and be loving kids and love others properly, be great people, which in the whole is gonna like do good service to the community, like to just the community as a whole.
So you're saying like being able to raise a child who ends up being a good person,
Yeah,
default makes you a good person?
yeah. I was gonna say like at first sight you don't see why being a good spouse is not as impactful because it doesn't affect other people, but in as deeper as it sounds, it's just as a whole it actually does. Like if you're focused on being a good spouse, that affects society, right? Like you make sure you have a happy home, and you don't end up in statistics. That's what I was trying to get at. But being a good person, just focusing on being a good person, doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna be a good spouse.
I mean, I feel like it does, because like when you're a good person, that doesn't mean you're only good to your wife or your kids. Like if you're a good person, you're good to everyone. Like so you're also raising a good child that's going to end up being successful and like an overall good person. But at the same time, you're good to your friends, good to your family,
Okay.
good to like others you encounter.
Go
So I
off.
feel like,
Oh,
sorry. I feel like being a good wife or husband is too narrow.
Okay.
Being a good person is broad.
And see,
That's fair.
That's the thing like I have with it, because being a good person is I want to go off like the plate example I gave you last time, where it's like, you know, you have all the different parts of your plate that make it a whole.
Right, yeah.
I consider being a better person is the whole plate, right?
Exactly.
So you can add something to the plate to make the plate, you know, better for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But the plate itself, like adding, like the whole, okay, adding a part to the whole makes the whole better, but you cannot have the whole added to the part to make it better, if that makes sense. I don't
Say
know if
that
makes sense.
again.
Bro.
So like say like you're adding, say you have a car, you add a part to the car, you add a tire to the car, it makes the car better because now it can move.
Mm.
But the whole, like the car itself, you can't add the car to a tire and it makes it better. If that
Wait,
makes
use
sense.
this analogy. Use like a painting and like a brush stroke.
A brush stroke
Like, is that what you're trying to, like,
and
like you have a painting,
Mhm.
it's finished, it's a good painting,
yeah,
but you add a few more brush strokes.
strokes, it makes it better.
Right, is that
But-
what you're saying?
Yeah, and then like if you just have adding a painting to the brush stroke doesn't make it a better painting. If that makes sense. If you think about it inversely.
Yeah,
Right,
Yes.
I get what you. I get.
I don't. It doesn't. In my mind, it doesn't correlate like that.
So you're saying?
So I think being a better wife makes you a better person because, like he says, you probably don't know at first, like, okay, doing this is gonna make me a better person, but you realize it has an effect on the future. Your kids become better. These kids spread their love to the world. They spread what they've learned to the world. They spread the kindness, their helpfulness, whatever. So you don't learn that until you know as you go on, you become a better spouse, a better wife, and then it makes you a better person, makes you a whole person. So
Yeah, like just focus on being a good person. It's not really a bad thing.
It's not a-
It's yeah, but just making that correlation that being a good person automatically. I'm not sure if you're making that correlation, but becoming a better person automatically means you're a good spouse. I don't think it's accurate because there are people that like great in their career, like great people. You know what I'm saying? Like to other people, and they're killing their jobs. They're doing great outside of their family, but when it comes to family, they're just horrible. Husband, horrible.
But I mean, you can argue that if they're not good at treating their wife or their spouse with respect, that they're not a good
Yeah,
person.
they're not a good person.
So
to their family, but to you, they might be a good person. You say, oh, that guy.
No, I'm not talking about like an outsider perspective. I'm talking about like, and this is kind of dramatic, but like in the eyes of God, is this a good person?
Oh,
Do they
okay.
treat their family right? Are they good with others? Do they like overall providing a service to society?
What if they are providing like they have a
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
like,
go ahead.
You're providing a certain aspect to society, but like say with the jobs, you're contributing to society
Right.
in a positive way, like so, economic, whatever.
Mhm.
But in terms of being a bad husband, you're not contributing in that sense because you have a broken
I
home
mean,
or whatever.
but what is it that makes you a bad husband? Are you too aggressive? Are you non-communicative? If you're not, if you lack those skills, then you're not a good
You're
person.
not a good person.
Like, I'm not even talking about like what do you contribute to society. I'm talking about what skills do you possess. Like, can you communicate? Can you make friends? Can you work a job? Can you stay organized? Like those types of skills.
They can
are what make
coexist,
you
though.
A good person. And if you lack those skills, that makes you a bad spouse, and it makes you a bad person.
So if you lack, say you lack only one of those skills,
Right.
say you lack organizational skills, are you still a good person?
That's a good question.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
The part makes it a better whole, but the whole cannot make you a better part, if that makes sense.
Beautifully said.
So like again, you keep on adding stuff to your plate, that way you become a well-rounded person.
Yeah.
In that sense,
But you're saying
if I'm saying, let's go back to the career.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying like being a spouse makes you a better person? So like when you're not a good spouse, you're not a good person?
No, it's just you don't have that part of your plate
Or-
yet. Or
so.
it's
You're
like
saying
that part isn't there yet.
being organized is a skill, right?
Yeah, say it's
And
a positive trait. yes.
Being a spouse,
is another skill or a
Really?
positive trait.
That's how
Yes. I'm thinking of it like separate.
Math.
Okay.
It's like math. Yeah, exactly.
I see what you're saying, but I don't agree. I feel like there's more.
You don't
There's more
agree?
to it than just being a spouse. Like, if you want to be a good spouse, you need to do all these things. You can't just be a good spouse. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't know. For me, I'm a talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With me, I agree with Jackson, bro. When I think of as a good person, that means you know yourself really well. You know how to talk to somebody. There's no way you can be a good spouse if you don't know yourself, and there's no way you can be a good person if you don't know yourself. You know what I'm saying? So if you know how to talk, that's something you're good at. You know how to treat somebody, that's something you're good at because you know what you can do. You know yourself better before you can show that to somebody else.
Right.
So that's how either both. You gotta know yourself before that. But I think the best way to know that is if you're if you're a better person, you're gonna be a better spouse. In my opinion.
Bro, that leads me to this other point. Like, you know how people say, oh, you need to learn to love yourself before you love someone else? Like, y'all heard that before?
Yeah.
Yo,
If you don't
I
love
agree with
yourself,
that. I agree
it's
with
because you're not a good person. Think about that.
Oh no, I don't. Wait, what?
Think about it. If you don't love yourself,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you love yourself? Oh, I can't do my schoolwork. Oh, I can't hold a job.
Keep it deep
You don't
in
love
that.
yourself. If
Okay.
you learn those skills and you learn to love yourself, you can learn to be a spouse or.
So now loving
So
yourself.
It's like,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, yeah, but like it's like a subset of that category, right?
What do you
So
mean?
it's like learning to love yourself makes you a better spouse, which in turn makes you a better person. You can go that way if you really think about it.
I'm not arguing that, but.
I mean, but you can go down that road if you want to put it that way.
I'm saying learning all these skills
hmm
will make it easier for you to learn to love yourself.
Yeah. And
So like you have this painting, you finished it.
Mhm.
Oh, it's perfect. I love it. Now I'm learning to love myself because I have all the pieces together. They're all there.
exactly. Which and say those skills that you've learned to make that painting,
Mhm.
you've learned them over time. So you make that painting, which in turn makes you love yourself, which in turn makes you a better person.
Yes. So being
So
a good person makes you a good spouse.
No, but
Really?
learning those
Yes.
skills to make a good painting makes you love yourself,
Yes.
which in turn can make.
But
you
you're
a
not
better spouse.
doing it to get a spouse. You're doing it to love yourself.
That is true.
No.
I
I
agree with
think
Jackson, bro.
I think
You don't go to school, or maybe some people do. You don't go to school because you want to get a wife, you know? You go to school because you want a career for yourself. And potentially, like, maybe you do have plans to get a wife eventually. But, like, you do it to, like, you
Life
know,
experience too, bro.
Sorry, what are you saying? As
Love
like
yourself
becoming
to
a better
the
person? Is
like,
that why?
become a
you-
better person. Yeah, exactly.
Like going to school?
you go to school and become a better person. As crazy as it
You
might
learn a
sound.
lot of social
You
skills
learn a
too,
lot of
bro.
things. Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily mean he can be. I mean, it gives you a better chance. How about that?
I agree.
It gives you a better chance. I think that coexist. I think if we say you gotta have both. For me, you gotta have to have one another. For example, to be a good spouse, to be a good person, you can't be a bad spouse.
Be a good person. You can't be a bad spouse.
Or to be a good person, you can't be. Or to be a good spouse, you can't be a bad person. So they need to coexist.
I feel like
They need to be both. in
if you
line.
have one, the other one will come naturally.
you think
You're
so?
a good person, you'll eventually
For some people.
find us. Yeah, for some people, obviously, not all people. But if you're a good person, chances are you're gonna find another good person, and they're gonna become your
It's
spouse.
true. If you're a better person, you know
There's
what
a
you're
higher
looking
chance.
for, bro.
Yeah, there's a higher
But if you
chance.
make yourself out to just be a better spouse, I don't think you're gonna love yourself.
Wait, are we talking about it in terms of you're already in the like married or
Spouse, yeah, that's what it means, right?
Spouse,
No?
yeah.
It means you're
No,
married.
I'm saying like
you looking for someone?
if you're where you're at right now, you're in college, right?
Okay, then no.
And you're making yourself out to be a better spouse. Like, oh, I'm going to school so I can find a wife.
And I was
I'm
talking
saying-
about totally different.
What are you
Right,
talking
I was just talking about like someone is married.
What are you saying? So like,
That's
like
hard
some-
to say then, though, bro, because they're already married. We gotta talk before.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like someone. We don't know how it is, right? We can just answer.
So you're saying you can't have it correlate the way saying going to school will make me a better spouse. You said you can. That doesn't.
I mean, I'm
It doesn't
saying
translate, or what are you
They
saying?
can.
you can technically, but like, it. A lot of people don't. People shouldn't do that. They should do it for themselves. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like you can go that route, but it's not really. I don't think it's healthy.
What
opinion,
route?
I don't think it's healthy
You're
for you to
saying
do it for
going to
someone
school will
else.
make you a better spouse.
Oh no, you can't do that.
I think
A lot of
I don't know.
But
I don't think that makes sense.
yeah, but Yeah.
But can't you see it like people want to have a career so they can provide for a family, so they go to school. Like it's not uncommon, but like I don't think your sole purpose should be so I can be a better spouse to my husband or my wife.
Sure. I think for me, end of the story. I think it just should, both of them should coexist. You have to have one another to be a good person or to be a spouse.
So you think you need to learn
Both. If you want to be overall a good person,
okay.
That's my conclusion.
Now that's what I was sent, my fault, to cut you off. That's why I go to say, but experience is the best way to learn. Okay, you say that's what I think. Yes, bro.
Oh, I agree with you. You said. Listen. Let me repeat word for word what you said.
Okay, bro. Go ahead, bro.
You
I
said.
changed it. I said better person.
Nah, you said. You said messing up is the. Did he say messing
He
up?
said messing up is the
Only way.
I said
You
best
said
way.
only. I didn't like the only part.
Okay.
Because you know why? There's other, like it's a wise man can learn other ways, right? It's not only failure or like messing up.
Failure is the greatest teacher.
If you think about it, Jay's kind of right. It is technically the only way.
Bro, it's the
Think
greatest
about it.
teacher, bro.
Because when you learn something, wait.
Okay.
It depends on things. It
Wait a minute,
depends.
Let me
It depends.
cook.
Alright. When you learned that this food is poisonous,
Are you gonna eat it and?
no, you didn't.
die?
You didn't eat it. You didn't eat it and then die. No, someone told you, oh, this person failed. He ate the berry and died.
I experienced it.
He experienced it, and you learned from his failure.
That's a different thing. That's a different thing.
But he messed up, so you learned from
No.
failure. Messing up is the only way.
Listen.
Go ahead.
I was trying to say.
Okay. No,
Your point is like a philosophical thing that I heard. Is like a quote. Like a wise man once said that a wise man learned from others people's mistakes, which is what that person did. They learned from their mistakes.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But not from your. You would not learn. You would be dead if you eat something poisonous.
Fact.
That's what I'm saying. It depends on things, right? If it's like a kid learning how to walk, right? They're crawling. The only way they can learn how to walk is to get up and walk.
Right.
And they'll
It's through experience.
I agree with you. Through action. Don't say failure because
Failure is action, though.
failure is part of action. Exactly. But some people don't fail and they still learn, right? They still learn. It just depends on the things. But for a baby to walk, they have to fail, right? They have to fall down, get up again, and then that's through action we learn, not through failure as well.
And then for some other cases, like you said, you learn by watching someone else do it. So you're not messing up yourself. You're learning through someone else who's messed up. So that's in that case, you're learning that okay, I shouldn't do that.
Right. You're learning for your own sake to not do it. But Jay's saying that the only way you learn is by messing up, not by you messing up,
Not
by
by
messing up.
Yeah.
So someone at some point messed up and you learned from it.
Then if you're saying that we're in the same page, because we're in the same page. But for me, what I was saying, what I was trying to say is, the only way we learn, or the best way we learn, the only way we learn, is by actions. That, because action, just like anything, can fall under action. When we make action, we can fail, we can win. That's all I think. But you can't just say, because like failure is under action. If you never did any action, you never fail. You just stay there.
That's true. Failure is like the end result.
Yeah, it's like the end result. Action is like the thing that you do.
What's it called? Catalyst.
Exactly.
What about in cases where it's like that person did the right thing the first time and has done that right, like the thing that they learned to do right, they've done it every single time. Like
They would never learn.
But it's the right thing to do because.
But they wouldn't learn anything from it. They'd succeed, but they wouldn't learn.
They'll learn
If you
something.
made if $1 million dropped in front of you, did you learn how to make $1 billion in 0.5 seconds?
You learn something else. You learn
No.
about luck.
Yeah.
You learn something else. You're not learning about making money.
Then what about relationships, then, bro?
Oh,
Bro, don't drop your Rolex like that. Come on, man. Come on, man. You drop the Rolex like that.
Rolly.
What about a relationship?
In a relationship?
Would you agree with me? It's the
About
greatest
what,
thing.
sir?
It's the only way.
About learning
Not the
about what
only
in a
way.
relationship?
Like failure.
To learn about a relationship?
Yes, bro.
So, for example, let me say I have a friend.
You forgot to talk. Let's say you just forgot to communicate with your girl, bro. She gets upset. Now you know not to communicate with her because you failed. Like you know what I'm saying?
Okay, but let me give you an example.
All
Right.
right.
Let's say I have a friend.
But I want your experience, bro. Why you saying
Let me listen, bro. Listen.
Let me listen.
I have a friend
Cool.
who is in a relationship, and I never been in a relationship, right?
All right.
I'm gonna go back to his example, and I have a friend who was like messing up in a relationship. They're doing horrible things. They're being toxic,
Mm-hmm.
and then his girl break up with him, right?
Yeah.
Because of his toxic side. So now I learned, okay, this is not what to do, even though I never been in a relationship. Would you agree that's still learning?
I feel like you wouldn't learn that much from watching.
Yeah, bro. I feel like you would have to go through your
Well,
to be honest with you.
I agree with you, because those like the painful things they had to go through, you probably never felt it.
Right.
Because you'd be thinking, is
Right.
it really that bad? That's what you're gonna go through, right? Is it really that bad?
But in terms of like just doing, if you have common sense, in most part,
You say we stupid, bro.
I don't know.
You say
If you have common sense in certain things, you know what not to do. In most
To
part,
go off what you said when you said like, is it really that bad? It also depends on whether a person has like the level of empathy they have in a situation like that. If they say a person is apathetic, I don't know, it's like they don't really care.
just
A
making up words, bro.
sociopath. That is a
it's
word.
Apathetic. Apathetic. That means that they don't care.
Right.
All right. They don't. I'm not gonna use the word apathetic then.
Not empathetic.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not.
They
They're
don't
not
care.
empathetic.
Okay.
They don't really care about what's going on in this situation. Then it's
So-
gonna be harder for them to
Because
get
they
through
don't
their
like
mind.
it, bro.
Damn.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Don't mind him, bro. Just keep talking.
Mad.
He's mad.
It's gonna be hard to get through their heads.
Mhm.
Okay. Like, it's not really that big of a deal. But if someone's more empathetic to the situation, they're able to feel that person's emotions, then they're gonna be like, okay, I see where you're coming from, and now
Yeah.
I've learned, I've gained a life experience that I can cherish and
So do you guys
use for
disagree?
something else.
So listen. Let me ask you a question.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm showing you like there's different. I'm not disagreeing, but I'm showing you there could be a different way of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, what are you trying to say? Are you saying the only way you can learn how to be in a relationship is by, like, having a
Being a good boyfriend, like stuff like that, like
Being a good boyfriend?
Yeah. In a relationship.
That's the.
That's the only way that. What are you trying to say?
Yes, bro.
The only way to learn about being in a relationship.
Yes.
Then
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
So you agree with it? Okay, then that's all we.
By doing it, by doing it.
By faith.
I mean,
No, you no.
How to be a good boyfriend? That's what I just said.
How to be a good boyfriend by like failing in a relationship by action.
Bro, like you felt like, let's say you to be a good boyfriend, you gotta have all these things. But some girls might require more than that.
What
More than
things?
this, bro? Communication, right?
That's not failure.
Bro, wait, bro.
All right. That's a healthy relationship.
Exactly, but if you don't know how to do that, you know what I'm saying? You messed up.
How did you mess up if you have a good?
because it started an argument, and now you're mad.
Yeah, because
That's
you,
how you-
you don't know how to communicate with somebody, or like opening up. You gotta learn how to open up with your partner, right? But you don't know how to do that. Now you messed up. Now you know. You see what I'm saying? Okay, thank you.
I don't know. I don't think that's really messed up. That's just experience and action. That just go back.
That's
to
not
action.
messing up. That's messing up,
I
bro.
don't know, bro. I don't know, bro.
That's messing up, bro.
It is.
What is messing up?
In order for you to learn not to cheat, you have to cheat. Is that what you're saying? That's an extreme question.
Bro, we are not saying that.
Is that,
Yeah, I did not bring that up.
That's why you. That's what
crazy.
you basically saying. That's the same logic.
But they'll learn,
No,
man.
no.
They'll learn from it.
I mean,
But that's not the only way.
that has to go into like morals and values and a whole lot of other stuff.
Whatever you believe in, bro. If you believe in
Right, if you think
good,
that's
go
okay,
ahead, bro.
No, I'm just using your logic.
Yeah.
I'm just losing your logic.
On what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I'm not talking about that though. I didn't say cheating.
But you said.
I'm
to be a good
just
boyfriend.
using your logic.
How to be a better boyfriend? You think cheating is being a better boyfriend? I didn't say that.
Who answered
Did I?
that?
I I didn't say that.
You said you
How to be a better
You said
boyfriend.
messing up.
You said messing up is the best
Is cheating
way.
not messing
Yeah,
up?
to be
Cheating
a
not messing
better.
up?
What you mean?
Is it not messing
To
up?
be a better boyfriend?
Is cheating not messing
To
up?
be a better boyfriend. Answer me that, because I said to be a better boyfriend.
All right.
Is cheating not messing up? Yes,
let's,
no.
Let's smooth this out, okay?
Okay.
Let's smooth it out. Relax. Let's smooth it out. Let's relax.
All right, go ahead, bro.
Lay down your main thing. All right. Is it that messing up is what's gonna make you a better boyfriend, or what is it? Just tell me.
What is your point?
What is your point?
My point is with this: when you mess up, it's gonna cause you to be a better boyfriend, because then you can learn.
Okay. So now here's what me and East here are saying.
Okay.
Say I cheat. That's messing up, right?
Yes.
That's gonna. And then I learn. Okay. Let me
Okay.
not cheat anymore.
Okay.
But some people in the relationship, they don't cheat.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that because they've learned prior of seeing that it's not that cheating is bad? Or
Did they not
because-
learn?
Did they not learn?
Depends what type of cheating it is, bro. Some people think sometimes.
No, they never cheated. Did they not learn that cheating is bad?
Let me ask you this: He said, "What's cheating to?"
It's a whole.
I'm asking you a good question. That's a good question.
All right, cheating.
Because my cheating could be something from yours. So
Cheating in a relationship for me is anything that anything you're entertaining anything that you would do with like your partner, right?
Okay.
So anything from like messaging them like
Yes.
flirting
Right.
flirtishly, and then like having like some contact with them, meeting them up or something like that. Something like you would know you would not do in front of your like partner, right?
Yeah.
That's cheating.
I mean, you could argue that you at one point messed up and you made your partner jealous, and you learned from that. Hey, maybe I shouldn't be entertaining other women. They could say like, and you learn from that.
Okay, that's fair, but I'm just saying you don't have to.
You don't have to go to the extreme
that.
and cheat on her.
You don't have to
can.
No, you don't.
learn from it.
But there's some relationships where that never happens.
And then they
They
still
They
know.
still know not to do that.
I mean, they learned. I'm saying they learned. Like, okay, my partner gets jealous when I look at another female.
But it's not the best way because you're just putting someone.
Again,
in
that's a
trouble.
different
But, like,
situation entirely.
But
There's
the whole thing is like some partners don't get jealous and they push that boundary and they keep going, and that's where you have like these random wild relationships where it's like, oh yeah, my guy goes out every night to the club and he comes back to like this woman. Like there's relationships like that.
Yeah.
Like some people don't care and they don't have to learn.
And then there's other relationships where it never happens.
It never happened.
And
There's
it never happens because they freaking tested the boundary. Like, okay, my girl gets jealous when I do this.
They just never tested the boundary.
You know it, bro. You notice when your girl
No.
gets jealous.
I bet there's a relationship
You
out there where
notice-
boundaries have never
Boundaries
been
are
tested.
known.
They're known from the.
They're known from the start.
They know from the start.
They don't even like.
I agree. They know from the start.
Okay.
Like you know that a human.
But they didn't have to
another
mess
human-
up though.
Wait, what?
They didn't have to mess
They
up.
didn't
It was
have
just
to.
like established.
It's
Okay,
just
you
known
probably
that-
like
Someone
no,
did
upset.
though.
At some point or another, you learned that your significant other had emotions. You learned that maybe this emotion is jealousy, and you learned to not push that boundary by doing something crazy.
Okay, how did you learn by doing it or just
You
by you
learn-
being conscious about it?
By making, maybe it could be the most minuscule minor mistake, but
Okay.
you learn like, oh, it made her feel this way.
So that's by doing it, and then
That's
other
just
ways-
by doing
Messed
it.
up. You technically messed up by making her feel
No, that's I'm agreeing with that. But I'm just saying there's situations where in a relationship they're conscious of that could happen, and it just never happens in the first. It's never a problem.
Yeah, I just
because
That's
they
what I'm saying.
learned that their partner has
But
emotions.
how do you? But they
know they
just
never
know.
done it. They just
don't-
know they
don't
never
have to
done
learn.
it. They never
just
messed up.
learned.
They never
learned.
They never learned it. They just have it.
learned, bro. Unless you're talking to an alien, bro. You learn that you're talking to another human and they're gonna have emotions at some point or another.
But you learn not by
When you put-
messing up is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, no, I'm saying even if you make them express even the most minuscule emotion.
I don't think you understand.
We're just trying to say they never learn that way. They never learn that way. They just
Either they were conscious of
Conscious
it.
of
What do
it.
you think is the best way then?
huh? Of just being
Being a good
like-
boyfriend, bro. A good boyfriend. That's what I'm talking about.
It could be it could be like you say, learning from experience. It'd be learning from other people's mistakes.
You're learning from just having a conversation with your girl.
Exactly.
But you don't have to mess up.
You don't have to mess up to know like, okay,
Yeah,
let me not do that
Put
again.
people to trauma. Is what you're trying to say.
That's not what I said.
It's not what he said.
I'm just joking.
don't know, man.
Put words in your mouth now.
Because even if you mess up with that one person, bro, it's gonna be hard to put that into somebody else.
What did he say?
But do that to somebody else. You see what I'm saying? That was crazy. Bro.
That was crazy,
Bro, like my first relationship, I learned, bro, is I don't even want to talk about it.
Bro, you just gonna lead us that way?
Nah, I'm just playing, bro.
And not say anything?
Nah, I learned like communicating is a big thing. I learned that.
By messing up?
Not by me messing up.
Bro, what you mean?
What you mean? Isn't that your whole point?
I ain't mess up. No, not me. Like, the girl messed up to me. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
that
You feel me?
Alright.
That's what I'm trying to say. Obviously, there was some parts where I should have been communicative to, but I didn't. I didn't communicate and all that. But like opening up, showing your weak side, soft side, yeah, but like that too. I learned that, and I took what I learned from that to another relationship, and it made me a better boyfriend. And then there were some other things that I didn't know about that I messed up in that relationship too, and now I know, and I took it to another relationship.
That's cool.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you're not gonna be the best boyfriend as you can be if you do not. I'm not saying mess up. I'm not saying mess up.
Okay,
but I'm saying to be the best boyfriend you can be. I think there's gonna be some times when you do some errors, and I'm not saying you're just gonna be
That's
mindful.
messing
Like,
up.
well, I'm gonna mess up. I'm gonna go ahead and mess up just so I can be a better. Nah, not like that. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I mean.
Alright.
Alright, I'm gonna put this out here as well, because then I feel like we can all agree with this, right? Watching, for those people who've grown up with, like husband, wife, or whatever, right? Watching those two people, like, communicate and have, are you not learning, like, okay,
But how
this
young
is
am
a
I,
good
bro?
thing? Huh?
We talk about like I'm 18 or something. What are you
Like,
talking
no, he's like learning
your
from your
parents,
parents.
your parents.
Like two
Your parents,
Okay.
husband, wife,
about? All right.
or wife, husband, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, by learning from what's happening in that relationship, the love that they have for each other, and so on and so forth, are you not learning that in the future, okay, I can apply this so that I can become better in that relationship?
Yes. I agree.
Exactly. So that's the whole point we're trying to make.
Yeah.
That it's not just failing
I
that makes you
And then watch,
a
they
better
end up doing
boyfriend.
that same thing that they messed up on, that they said they weren't gonna mess up on, and then they mess up. Because now they're scarred about it, and now they never want to do it again because they felt some type of emotion towards it. So then it caused them not to do it again.
I'm saying you can learn a lot from your parents' relationship, but when it comes to your actual partner, like you can have this idealized version of what your life's gonna look like by looking at your parents, right?
Yeah.
But by learning your actual partner and their needs and their wants, you need to mess up sometimes. And you don't always need to mess up. I'm not saying you need to mess up everything.
Okay, that's fair.
Sometimes you could just communicate
You're
and
not
work
perfect.
through it
You know what I'm
without
saying? You're
messing
gonna
up.
mess up. You're not perfect.
And there's nothing wrong with messing up. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be just thing that's like, oh, you messed up.
Can't be
It's bad.
perfect.
Something.
You're not
What I was trying to say, like, basically, is just certain things are established, like before then, that okay, this is not what I'm gonna do. But I get what you're saying, though. That we're not perfect beings.
I feel like we both have valid points on this.
We have valid, like we
both of us
You know what I'm saying?
valid movies.
I
That's true, Joe.
Alright, me too.
I don't totally like disagree with that because we're not perfect beings.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is like some people go in a relationship, they don't establish certain things, which makes them mess up, and they think that's the only way they have to learn. So I don't know, like a healthy relationship, certain things that I respect your boundaries, and you have to respect mine, and
Right.
this is what we're gonna stand on, and it's established, right?
Right.
That way you don't have to, like, by your point, making a lot of errors.
Like I said, I agree with Dre's point. The only thing that I would tweak is like
Not say
by messing up. That's the best teacher, right?
Yeah, don't
That's
say
the
that.
only thing I would tweak. It's like there's other
greatest
ways
teacher.
of learning.
Yeah.
I feel like there's other ways of learning that make you. It's also a better teacher than.
Think about a math problem, bro. You mess up, bro. You ain't gonna know. What the hell?
So how did you solve the problem? What do you
What you
mean?
mean you ain't something? Because you messed up, bro. If you mess up, then you gonna know. Oh, it's not to do.
Let's say this. Messing up helps you recognize that you need to learn.
There you go. That's a better way to say it.
Yeah, can we all agree on that?
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
Jay, look at me, bro.
That's a better way to say it.
No.
Look at me and say yes.
No.
Hey,
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
Hey, you can have his own opinion. It's alright.
Nah, I'm just playing with you. I'm just trying to start some stuff. Nah, I agree. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Jackson. So what? Y'all still agree with me though?
I
If
see
you
your
don't,
point.
bro, I'm just messing with you.
What was that?
I'm just messing with you, bro. I'm just messing with you. That's crazy though, bro. That's hard though.
It's not crazy, bro.
A relationship's hard.
That's true.
Anything's hard. You feel me?
What is what?
So, huh?
Huh?
What you said?
Huh? I said it's hard.
What is?
Shit. Tune into the next episode where things get better and better and better. Thanks for watching.